Hello, everybody. This is your daily real estate practice question. And today we're going to go over an estate at will. So you're going to have questions like this sometimes on the test where it just says something and then it'll say some statements after. So the answers are basically going to be statements that are going to be after or just basically that complete a phrase. So let's do this. Whenever you see this, what I would do is read this, then read the answer. So I would let it roll as one complete statement. So what I would do is I would read it as I would say an estate at will. And then as soon as I see that the questions kind of finish a phrase, I would let the phrase kind of just flow. Watch how I'm going to do it. An estate at will cannot be terminated. It can. So that we're going to cross out. But do you see how that flowed? We said an estate at will cannot be terminated. How did that sound? Didn't sound so good. An estate at will is terminated only if stated in the lessee's last will and testament. Now, I know that's wrong. Now, here's what I'm going to say. This one throws you for a loop because they put will in there to try to kind of, see if you're going to bite on that. But you guys are sharp cookies. You're not biting on that. We're going to cross that out too. Okay? We're going to cross that out. An estate at will terminates on the death of the lessor or lessee. I like that one. That one sounds good. But here's the thing, even if it sounds good, we're going to read it every single answer and contemplate every answer because there might be a better answer. So an estate at will terminates on the date specified in the lease agreement. This requires us to know what an estate at will is. And this is why I tell you guys you need to learn your concepts out of context, right? So an estate at will, what is that? That is basically a legal leasehold estate with no defined period. Okay? So this sometimes, so if we had to use a practical example of when this happens, okay, it happens when typically, and now I'm saying typically, the landlord allows the tenant to stay in a lease like after it's over. Let's say it's an annual lease, right? So it would be a what? An estate for years because it has a definitive beginning and end, right? And then what happens is after it ends, the people are like, hey, we're closing on a home, we're purchasing something. And this happens all the time. Purchasing something and we really want to stay here and just and have everything line up. Landlord says sure, absolutely. Now here's the thing, in an estate at will, the landlord and tenant still have obligations to one another. Okay, just because it's set for an indefinite period of time doesn't mean that they could stop paying rent, and also it doesn't mean that the landlord doesn't have that warranty of habitability where they have to keep the place habitable, right? So they still have obligations to one another, and this is typically just done in an express fashion. So if we're talking about what type of contracts we have, this is probably going to be an express oral contract because the terms are probably going to be clearly laid out that they could stay for an indefinite period of time. And again, in an estate at will, it is an indefinite period of time. So, because it is an indefinite period of time, D does not work. Your answer right here is C. It terminates on the death of the lessor or lessee. Guys, I hope that helped you out. Have a great one. Keep on studying.